Okay, so you're pretty confident with dynamic blocks and actions, but things are going a bit wrong and you don't know why. Don't worry, I'm here to help. Let's go through some of the most common problems. Number 1. The geometry stretches in the wrong direction. It might look something like this. You grab one parameter and the other side seems to move. Let's open up the block and find out what's going on. You'll notice that that little red X, it's on the opposite side. It's selecting the wrong grip. Let's right click and delete the action and start again. This time I'm going to apply a stretch action. Now watch where the red cross goes. When I move my mouse, it moves as well. Pay attention. Let's put it to the correct side, save the changes, and have a look in Modelspace. And now it's behaving the way that I would expect. Another thing that you might see is that the geometry moves in a sort of squiffy angle. Let's have a look and find out what's going on here. So let's select the action, open up the properties panel, and you can see that the angle offset is set to 60. Let's change that to 0. Save the block changes and see what's happening. As you can see, things are now behaving as you would expect. Number 2, the grip points are missing. Let's open up the block and find out why we can't change the geometry. So let's select the parameter. We can see that the actions are attached to the parameter and open it up in the properties panel. We can see that the number of grips is changed to 0. If we change it to 2, they are both visible. Let's save the changes. And the grips now appear in Modelspace. Fantastic. Number 3. The geometry moves, but the parameters don't. So we might get something like this. When I flip the geometry, the parameter moves, the grip points don't move, things are behaving very strangely. Let's right click, reset the block, open it up and find out what's going on. So I noticed that the action selection set has the parameter is not selected and neither are the grip points. Let's just select them, save the changes, and voila, the problem is solved. Number 4, the geometry moves twice. So when I click flip, very strange things are occurring here. Let's reset the block with a right click, open it up in block edit mode and find out what's going on. If I select the parameter, open up the properties panel, I can see that chained actions are switched on. Let's just try switching them off. Save the changes. And now I can see that things are behaving more normally. Number 5. Objects are reflected during a flip action. Ooh. Let's find out what's going on here. Well, it behaves exactly as you would expect it to. When you flip something, it is mirrored. It is flipped over. So let's right click, action selection set, modify the selection set. Now we're going to remove this little L shape. We don't want that to be reflected. And we're going to add a point parameter and a move action that is attached to that parameter. Selecting that L geometry. And then we are going to modify with a right click the selection set and make sure that that parameter that we just created and the grip point, always remember the grip point, is selected. Then we're going to turn chained actions on. If you are confused by this, I suggest that you review the chained actions lesson. If we save the changes and open the block in Modelspace, we can see that it now works. Fantastic. Number 6. The geometry is behaving strangely. What is happening here? Well, there's a few things that can be happening, but often, for example, in this case, I expect the geometry to rotate, but it's doing this weird resizing thing, and I don't want that. Let's open up the block and find out what's going on. Let's click Show All for geometric constraints, and oh look! We have a lot of geometric constraints that are applied to this geometry. I'm not saying that you should never combine geometric constraints and actions and parameters, but if you do, you need to fully understand how both of them work, and if you don't, you're much better off only using one and just deleting all of the geometric constraints. If you'd like to learn how geometric constraints work, I strongly suggest that you follow my course, which is available and fully covers how to use geometric and dimensional constraints together. For now, I'm just going to delete the offending geometric constraint. And now let's try. We can see that the geometry rotates exactly as you would expect it to. And as a final thought, sometimes, even for me, I just can't work out what's going wrong. The thing to remember is don't be afraid to fail. Keep experimenting, keep trying, and be sure to share your work with me because I love to see how my teaching is applied in the real world. And I'm not just making that up, I really do. Thank you so much for watching, and please let me know what you'd like to learn next. If you like what I do, please subscribe to my Patreon. In addition to the lessons that are available online for free, I also have a number of in-depth practice exercise, written instructions, and starter files and example files that are available to download. Please check the description. You're supporting not just me, but learners all over the world from a diverse set of backgrounds, different levels of education, and different starting points. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.